Back in March of 2004, a group of Satanas gang members were outside of a shot caller's house. The plan was to go find and bang on the enemies. About 9 members all got into multiple vehicles and started driving until they ended up at a cafe called Fifth Wave located in Cypress, California. Now, this isn't true for all Asian gangs, but most of them don't claim streets and neighborhoods. They more or less have kick-it spots that they frequently go to, whether if it's a certain coffee shop, pool hall, nightclub, or whatever, you get the point. It's more common for Asian gangs to claim spots like these as quote-unquote turf rather than holding down literal streets. A lot of these Asian gangs would be located in separate cities as well, so it wasn't uncommon for gangs to load up into cars, drive to different cities just to look for enemigos to bang on them. Now, I've never understood this aspect of gangbanging. To be completely honest with you, like if your ops are located in a different city, what are you guys really fighting over? Territory? The drug market? Somebody let me know in the comment sections below. Like, you wouldn't even run into each other in the street type shit. But anyway, once the group got to Fifth Wave Cafe, a few of them went inside looking for the ops. Seated all the way towards the back of the cafe were a group of people that caught the eyes of the STS members. A few members from Satanas decided to confront the group and started banging on them. Initially, the group told them they didn't want any problems, but for some reason, one of the men in the group named Richard said something along the lines of, "I used to roll with FMS back in the day, but those days are behind me." Now, FMS stands for Family Mob or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but upon hearing this, the 2 STS members exited the cafe. Now, in my opinion, this was where Richard f***ed up. Cause why even claim something if you're not about that life anymore? To me, it sounds like he wanted to sound hard in front of his friends and just wanted to claim something because they were getting banged on. But we all know, false claiming can get you killed real fast in the world of gangbanging. But before we get into the video, make sure you leave it a like because it'll help me with the algorithm. Also, don't forget to subscribe because I'm dropping videos weekly. But without further ado, let's get back into the video. The 2 STS members went back outside to the rest of the group and told them some fools from FMS are inside the cafe. This was when Stephenson Kim decided that he wanted to go put in some work. We're gonna call him Dragon. Dragon was a member from STS, and I guess he had something to prove that night because he walked into the cafe with the 45 and started blasting. He let off several rounds before he made his exit out the back door. 3 people were hit by gunfire, including a 21-year-old woman by the name of Hyun, and she ended up getting hit in the head, and she later died from her injuries. One of the men in the group named Ronald attempted to stop Dragon after the shooting, but he turned around and shot Ronald too, which ended his life. 2 other men were also struck but survived, and the false claimer that started this whole mess for claiming FMS walked away with no wounds. Crazy world we live in, right? 3 of the friends that you were with got struck by bullets all because you wanted to sound like you were with the shits back in the day. Shame on you, sir. Shake my damn head. A day after the shooting, Dragon found out that an innocent woman was killed and that in fact, no enemigos were knocked off the map, so the skit they pulled was a bust. Dragon also realized the black baseball cap he was wearing was left at the crime scene, and I feel like this was the moment he knew he f***ed up. Back at the scene of the crime, investigators found several shell casings and a black baseball cap. DNA was traced back to Dragon, so he was a person of interest on this case. Several months later, Dragon was picked up by authorities. Eyewitnesses picked him out of the group of men and he was taken in as the prime suspect on this murder case. Dragon, or Stephenson Kim, was no stranger to the law at this point, and he has been involved in gang activity for a while. Back in 1998, he and other STS members packed out a man inside the Puente Hills Mall because the man was dating Dragon's ex-girlfriend at the time. The things men will do over a girl that belongs to the streets. While in custody, Dragon was passing around kites to all of his co-defendants that were present the night of the shooting. Kites are little jailhouse notes, like the type you would pass around in school back in the day, but on a whole nother level. Inside these kites, he was trying to more or less convince his co-defendants that if they fought the case, they could win. But little did Dragon know, every single one of his co-defendants had already provided statements and were going to testify against him in court. Ultimately, Dragon got sentenced to life without the possibility of parole and an additional 215 years. Needless to say, this motherfucker ain't never getting out, and the judge that sentenced him that day made absolute sure of that. Richard, who false claimed got his friends killed, and Dragon earned 0 stripes that night because no enemigos were harmed during the making of this skit. The willingness to crash out and risk it all over nothing never ceases to amaze me. I'm 27 years old, and a lot of these guys that are involved in these types of cases are my age, and it's hard for me to imagine somebody my age still trying to prove themselves. Like my boy, if you haven't proved yourself by the age of 25 or something like that, maybe it's time for a career change, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, let me know what you guys want me to cover next, but until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.